All right. So today we're going to be doing an interview with Gabby Wallace from Go Natural English. Say hi, Gabby.
Hey, how's it going?
So, what we're going to be talking about a few things today. So let's just jump right into it. So, Gabby, why don't you start off by telling us just a little bit about your business?
Sure. Well, I'm really excited to be here, first of all. I'm really glad that I could jump into this group with you, Chris. This is fun to do an interview as well. I think it's more fun than doing a solo Facebook Live. So, anyway, then to talk about Go Natural English and a little of my work. Go Natural English came out of my English teaching because I have been an English teacher for as long as I've been working, really. That it's always been my thing. And I wanted, after several years in the classroom, I wanted to have personally more freedom for myself. And I also wanted to help my students more. So just in a nutshell, that's why I started Go Natural English, not even really thinking that it was going to be a full-fledged business. I mean, now it definitely is, and we'll talk more about, what it is today. But when I started Go Natural English, I was just looking for a way to help my students, and I thought maybe it would be a way for me to start making some money on the side. But I was teaching full-time ESL to adults in Japan, actually. I was teaching abroad when I started Go Natural English. And just fast forward to today, now Go Natural English is a YouTube channel. A lot of people know the free content that I put out on YouTube because now the channel has like 1.2 million subscribers. So it's pretty funny when I get recognized on the street because I don't feel famous, but then some people know my face, which is crazy. And Go Natural English is not just a YouTube channel. Go Natural English is also a program for English learners to learn English. So we offer a course with online live lessons. And that is really the core of what I see Go Natural English as, is the course and teaching our students. But a lot of people see on the outside that it's YouTube and the blog, and it's a lot of things. But yeah, that's basically what Go Natural
Okay.
is. Yeah.
So let's go back in time. And
Yeah.
how did you get started with all this?
So as I said, I've been teaching English forever. I was looking for a way to help my students more because we only had so much time in the classroom and they're really busy. They were adults learning English in their free time. And I started thinking about how I could help them more. And I started doing some tutoring, face to face, like in real life tutoring. Like, who does that anymore? But that,
Right.
that was a long time ago. Just to go back, it's 2011. I'm in Japan. And I was thinking, how could I help my students more? And how could I create something that would be fun for me to do? And so I started thinking about what I like to do. And I've always enjoyed video. I've always enjoyed making video. Like when I was in 8th grade, I convinced my English teacher, to let me do a video assignment. Long story, but like I've always liked video. And so I knew about YouTube and I thought, okay, why don't I start making some tutorials on video? And I started posting them on YouTube. And slowly, I want to emphasize slowly, it wasn't overnight, but very slowly, people started to find the videos. And it wasn't even just like, oh my gosh, people are finding my videos. Like I was sending them out to family, friends, my Facebook account, like, hey guys, look at my videos. It's very slow. I like to emphasize that because, now the channel has a lot of subscribers and a lot of views, but that's over 8 years. It doesn't have to take that long to grow a channel. I could talk a lot more about growing a channel, but it takes some time. It's not like overnight. So anyway, you asked how it started. Basically, that's how it started, is by posting tutorials on YouTube and letting my English students really see that I wanted to help them. And then other people started watching. And that's when I started getting requests to do one-on-one tutoring with students. So I actually no longer had to go hunt down students. Like, where am I going to find the students, you know, going around to cafes and posting on Craigslist,
Yeah.
all the things. Once I started putting out decent content, I'm not even going to say it was good content to begin with. Like, it was pretty bad, to be honest, looking back at it. But just putting myself out there started to attract that attention. So that's how it all started.
Okay, so you actually got your students initially from your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so I was teaching at a regular job, teaching English, right? And so I called, you know, those students were my students as well, but not through Go Natural English. So
Right.
I'm kind of mixing terms here, but I had my regular students. I did some kind of off the clock in-person tutoring with them, but that was kind of before Go Natural English started. But I had that idea in my head that, you know, I'd like to do more with this and do it more kind of on my own terms and help the students even more. So that's when I started the Go Natural English YouTube channel. And that's when I started getting messages from viewers asking for me to be their teacher doing online lessons. And back in the day, if we go back to that time period, that was like 2012, people could actually send you an inbox message on YouTube. And that's not a feature anymore, but it doesn't really change the dynamic. I'm just kind of explaining because it's like, wait, how are people messaging you on YouTube? It was a thing.
Sure. Okay. Okay. So I think that's super interesting, right? The connection between, number one, consistency, right, and patience, and
Yeah.
two, just doing something and sticking with it and having that lead to results. So I feel like I've seen so many English teachers start YouTube, and the sense that I get looking at what people do on the outside is that if it doesn't happen in a week or a month, then I must be doing something wrong. I've spent all this time and effort. I'm making these videos, and nothing is happening. So
Well, and
for
you're
you,
doing something wrong, but you also just need to be patient.
okay. So
Yeah.
how do you know what you're doing right? Like, that's kind of a tricky thing, you know, because there probably are so many things you can be doing wrong, and if you're new, you don't even realize what that might be.
So I think it's really key to get feedback on what you're doing, whether that's from students that you're already working with. That's how I started sharing my YouTube videos, was just sending them to the students that I was already working with at my, you know, real job. And feedback could be from friends that are not students. Feedback could be from your mom if she's around, you know, it could be really anyone. But really getting feedback is important so that you can figure out if you're doing something right or wrong. And I think as long as you are actually doing something, then it's not wrong. It's just, you might want to tweak it to get better results. So what I'm trying to say is taking action, in my mind, is always the right thing. So staying in your head, thinking about, am I doing this right? Am I going to do this right? Because you're not doing it. You're just thinking, right? Am I going to do this right? I don't want to put a video out that's not perfect, or I don't want to, you know, make any mistakes. So I'll just wait until whatever. That's probably the wrong thing. So I think, you know, to answer your question, just try to get feedback, and you're always going to be evolving what you're doing. So just get some feedback. I mean, there's so many people that are willing to tell you their opinions out there. So
Right. There's no shortage of that.
Just, you might need to like have a thick skin in some cases, but generally, like, your friends or your mom or whoever is not going to tell you, you know, you're a horrible teacher or whatever. They'll be nice, but you actually want people who will tell you what you're doing wrong, who are not that nice, because that helps you to improve, right?
Sure. So YouTube is still a central part of what Go Natural is today?
Yeah, so YouTube is an important part of Go Natural English because that's where it started. And it's not the main way that the business makes money, if we're going to talk about, you know, income or making money, but it's really important because that's how most of my students find out about Go Natural English is through YouTube, because that's where it started. Now, I mean, if you're watching this, I say you to the teachers in the group, if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I need to start a YouTube channel because that's, you know, what worked for Gabby. Like, you could, yeah, but there's other ways to build a platform or be known online. But YouTube has worked really well for me and for Go Natural English. So it's a big part in that sense that that's kind of like the meeting place. Like, if you think about where you meet people in real life, like, they're not meeting you in your kitchen. Oh, hey, she is. Cut out, but now I'm back.
Yeah, it just cut out. Did you hear my question?
The transition?
The transition from being, you know, just YouTube, and then what else is there, and how did it grow out of that?
Yeah, so from YouTube, when I started making videos and posting and getting some views, and over time getting messages from viewers that wanted me to tutor them, that's when I got the first request to be an online tutor. And that's really when I consider that it started to be a business, because I think by that time I was making a little bit of AdSense on YouTube, but like very little. So I guess you could count the first AdSense as being a business, you know, when the money started coming in, but like coffee money is what I call it, you know?
Okay, so by that, just to clarify, you mean putting ads in your YouTube videos?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't personally put them in, YouTube puts the ads in, but they do give a percent of that to the creator, so to me.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, great. All right, keep going, sorry.
That's okay. And then, so I started doing tutoring, just, you know, how probably a lot of people in this group are doing tutoring is online, on Skype, and just doing one-on-one tutoring. And then I started getting more and more demand, and more messages, and I decided to create an online course. So for those students who, you know, maybe online tutoring wasn't right for them, maybe they didn't have necessarily the time or the money, an online course is a great alternative to allow students to work with you who maybe, you know, they're just not right for online lessons for whatever reason. So I created the first online course in 2013 at Go Natural English. And then from there, it's just been an evolution of creating courses, updating courses, including live online tutoring. And at this point now, I have a few teachers who are helping me out with things. But it's been really just an evolution of growth. And I could never imagine this. You know, in 2011, I never would have imagined this. So it's just been amazing.
That's awesome. So how does a student go from, I'm watching Gabby Wallace on a YouTube video, what's the process of there to now I'm going to buy an online course from you? Like, well, how does that, what's the path a student goes through?
That's a good question, because I don't sell anything direct. No, sorry. Let me take a step back. I don't sell my course or tutoring directly on YouTube. I took that back, because I do offer to sell an ebook on YouTube. So my point is, from YouTube, there's often a smaller step. Maybe inviting the student to come to your website and take some action there, you know, fill out a form or express their interest, getting in contact with you, because nowadays YouTube really doesn't make it so easy to like directly contact the student, or for the student to directly contact you. They can leave a public comment, but then it's like, how do you make arrangements for a lesson? It's really not possible. So you really need to think about what you want that next step to be. And it could be, hey, viewer of my YouTube video, the next step is to come to my website. Or if you don't have a website, you don't really need a website, honestly. You could say, you know, come to my Facebook page, or you could even give your email address. I don't know if you'd get a lot of spam, maybe, if you put your email address on a YouTube video, but that's just up to your own discretion. But you have to think about what you want that next step to be.
Okay.
Get in touch with the students, let them get in touch with you, and then figure out what they're looking for. the course, live lessons, whatever that may be.
Okay, so someone can watch your YouTube video.
Yeah.
And then maybe from something you say in the video or a link in the description or whatever, yes. Then from there they'll end up on your website, and then from there they'll have a chance to buy the services from you, whether it's one-on-one lessons from one of your tutors or if they want to do an online course.
Exactly. So I generally direct viewers to come to my blog. I do have a website, gonaturalelenglish.com, and there's a blog, and I'll generally tell them to, well, there's a few different things. I'll invite them to take a look at the blog post that's related to the video, or I will let them know they could buy my ebook. I have an ebook for sale there, and that's kind of a nice first step. I find it's nice to allow students to make a smaller purchase first. If you try to sell them a large package of lessons that's, over $100, it's, a lot of people are not used to buying things online, and especially from someone, your name is not Amazon.com, and it's not like they know you yet. So maybe starting small is a good idea.
Yeah, I feel like it lowers the risk, right? If someone says, I only know this person from YouTube, they seem like a really cool person I want to learn from, I don't know if I'm ready to jump into spending 5 hours of my time, with one of her tutors or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But a lower priced ebook maybe makes it easy for them to say yes.
Right. Or a lower purchase price, because you mentioned something about not wanting to spend 5 hours with the tutor. You don't know if it's, a good tutor or a good deal, but also the idea of charging something to your credit card or your PayPal account can be kind of scary to students.
Yeah. Do you have any kind of like free downloads on your website for people to take advantage of?
I do, yes. And in the past, I've had a free ebook download, and I do mean to make another one. Right now, today, I don't have a free ebook download, but I do think it's a good idea to have a free ebook or a free something to establish a good relationship with people.
Yeah. I think from what I see is I see so many teachers who have websites, and the only thing that a student can do on a teacher's website is book a free trial lesson. Yeah. And I feel like even though it's free, it's still a big commitment to get a student to choose a time to clear their schedule for that hour and to sit down with someone who is going to be effectively a stranger. And I think students know that if you take a free trial lesson, that a free trial lesson is really supposed to be a precursor to more lessons. So sometimes I think from the student's perspective, it can be, well, this may be only something a little bit more than a sales pitch, basically. So I think from what I see, there's a lot of room for other stuff, like on teacher websites, to say, other ways for your students and website visitors to get to know the teacher who comes there. Yeah,
I do want to say, yes, totally agree with letting your viewers or students get to know you through some free resources. But I actually have a funny story about offering free trials. I used to offer free trials way back in the day for my one-on-one tutoring, and then I had several free trials and no one was purchasing, and I think like the third or fourth one in the day, this guy was so direct and he just said, well, no, I'm not going to buy any tutoring with you. I just wanted to meet you. I just wanted to chat with you. And I was so upset. I stopped doing free trials at that moment, because what I realized is that you need to know if the student can pay and if they're willing to pay. And so just on that topic, I just wanted to make it clear, I don't think free trials are a great way, because you're not, what's the word? You're not really seeing who has the intention to actually pay.
Sure. Yeah. So how does it work now when students want to express interest in lessons? How does it work?
Yeah. So if they want to express interest in lessons, so they would usually be on my email list. So I do have an email list. It's very helpful to have some software that helps you to email students or potential customers. And I will send information about my course that includes some live online tutoring. And it's their option. You know, if they want to click on the link and purchase that, then they can, or they can continue to receive some free content to help them learn English. You know, reminders about new lessons on the blog or new YouTube videos, and that's fine too. I mean, it's normal to have like a 2% conversion rate. So if I have 100 people on my email list, 2 might buy my course, and that's normal. So yeah, that's just kind of how it goes.
That's another big thing I see among the English teachers that I work with. I'll see English teachers who will have a list, and they're just starting, but they're trying to do things the right way. So they have a free download on their website, probably very low traffic. So, but they'll do some things, post on Facebook, and they'll get a list together that has 200 or 300 people, and then they launch their product and they say, gosh, only 2 or 3 people bought this. And I think there's kind of this misconception of, if you build it, they will come. When meanwhile, it's perfectly, they may have a conversion rate that's just fine. Just the fact is that if you're only starting with that kind of number, then those are the sorts of results that you can expect.
Yeah, just going back to the conversation about free trial and a low kind of entry point, like a low priced item to start with. I think a great way to kind of mix that is to give a $1 trial lesson. Instead of a free trial lesson, make the students pay $1 or $5 or something that's less than your normal hourly fee. But just to make sure that their intentions are actually to invest in their English learning. That's a great way to just see if they're serious or if they're just kind of looking to chat you up.
Sure. Yeah, that's a great idea. And I've seen other people suggest that too, because I mean, I think about it from a student's perspective. There are enough online English teachers in the world that a student quite literally could have 1 free trial lesson a week for the rest of their life, right? With a different teacher every time. And so having that very low barrier, I feel like probably serves as a very strong filter to keep out the people who have no intention whatsoever or no ability to actually pay for lessons. And that at least makes them say, okay, they're serious and it qualifies.
Yeah, absolutely. So good start for you. I mean, not you, but like you in the group. If you're looking to add more students to your roster of customers, I mean, if you're not already doing some kind of trial like that, I think it could be a great way to add more students.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into kind of some more practical stuff. What do you wish you had known when you were first starting out and getting into this world?
Well, I wish I had known that it would work out and that it would be successful, because I had really low confidence starting out. And I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but you have these doubts, right? Like, is it going to work? Are people actually going to think I'm a good teacher? What am I doing? Am I making a fool of myself? Am I wasting my time? Should I just go get another teaching job instead of putting my time and effort into this? And there's all these self-doubting worries that come into your mind, and it just isn't helpful. It's like you're taking all your energy and putting it into these worries, at least I was, that didn't materialize. I mean, they could have, but they didn't. So why was I worried about it? So if I could go back, I would stop worrying so much and just do it, But seriously, just put my energy into trying different things that I had maybe a hunch or a good feeling might work, and experimenting a lot. So besides that, I mean, any hacks or tips or tricks, I think that I wish I had known. I wish I had known that there really are a lot of people, like we were just saying, that will just look for free trials, and to avoid that and realize that that's okay, that I do deserve to be paid for my profession. And if people complain, which they do very often, some people say, oh my gosh, why are you charging X amount for your lesson? You're so expensive. There's always going to be people who say that. So I guess I would tell my younger self, don't worry about them. Just focus on that 2% who actually respect your time and want to invest in their English learning. And that's really it. there's always going to be tech tips or like hacks, but I feel like those are always changing. So like I'm still trying to learn the best way to use tech, and it's just a process. You're always learning.
Yeah, yeah. I think you make such a good point about pricing. That's such a hot button issue with people. You know, how much do I charge? And I mean, I've been a teacher on italki, so in the marketplace style for a while. And yeah, I mean, there are teachers who go down to the minimum $5 an hour, all the way up to the top of $80 an hour. And $80 an hour is just where italki stops it. But there are teachers who charge more than that for one-on-one lessons. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's that no matter what price you charge, there will always be someone who says that's too expensive.
Yes.
You know, it could be $5 an hour, it could be $100 an hour. But there will also be people who say, okay, I can do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I encourage teachers to say, you know, err on the high side, right? Rather than get in a race to the bottom and say, well, if someone's charging $6, then I must need to charge $5 or else no one's going to pick me. I always feel like if you say if you focus on the value that you are giving,
right,
then it becomes very easy for someone to say, okay, well, I see the value and I'm going to buy this.
Yeah, exactly. Really know who you are, what your strengths are, what the value is of what you're giving, the value of your experience. You know, everyone has something special. I mean, really, everyone is a special snowflake. It sounds so cheesy, but I do want to encourage everyone that, you know, you have some edge that people, not everyone, but some people are willing to pay for. So maybe you have some experience, or you speak another language, or you just are a really encouraging person. Like, people will pay for that, but not all people, you know, some people.
Okay, so right now, currently in your business, you are not doing any one-to-one lessons yourself. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a team of teachers that's really awesome. And I love to focus now on really managing the business. And I see myself as working for my teachers instead of working for my students. So I used to work, well, I say work for my students, but maybe you know what I mean. Like, my main focus is on serving the student, or was on serving the students. Now my main focus is on serving my team and making sure that they have what they need to serve the students. So I really love business and marketing and management, and I'm just excited to be able to focus on that now. But again, it's been an evolution.
Yeah. Okay. So what is it like? How do you spend the time working on your business? Kind of like, what's the overview of what your time is like?
Yeah, like an average day. So this morning I made lots of coffee and started to prepare some things for my meetings that I would have with my team. Preparing things. I'm actually training a new team member, so that is something that I'm working on. So now it's like I'm teaching still. I mean, I still love to teach, but instead of teaching English, I'm teaching, for example, how to answer emails in my business, or other things. So preparing for meetings, having meetings, just keeping in touch with my team, like if they have questions about things, doing some updates actually in the course, the Go Natural English course. And well, now I'm here, halfway through the day. But you know, every day is different. But I'll tell you one thing that I always do in the first hour of my day. I mean, right after I make my coffee, I plan the day. So it's not just willy-nilly, oh, let's see what's in my email inbox. Let me just like put out all the flyers. No, I used to do that, but I find it's really helpful to prioritize and make my to-do list before I open my email inbox, because we probably all have a lot of emails nowadays. Like, I remember back in the day when I used to want more emails, like, why isn't anyone emailing me? This was years ago, you know? And now it's like so many emails. So I just really rely on my own notes, my own planning for the day, and then try to follow that as much as possible. But yeah, I mean, things like helping my team, things like planning, reflecting to see what's working or not. But that's now. I mean, if I could go back to like when I was doing one-on-one lessons, I think it would be similar, but the topics would be different. Like I'd probably start the day planning, but it would be planning the lessons that I'm going to do with the students, or planning some strategy to how to attract new students, maybe writing emails to my email list, sharing some cool tips with them to stay engaged, and offering them a way to book more lessons with me. So it's kind of similar, but just different topics now.
Sure. So now that you have, a business that is kind of up and running, what does this allow you to do that just wasn't possible at the beginning? Like, what are, like, do you like, I know you travel, like
Yeah.
kind of what are some of kind of the things that you say, okay, I've built this and this is how I'm going to, kind of enjoy the fruits of it?
Yeah, so I think it is similar. I mean, anytime that you're working 100% online, you have the freedom to work from anywhere. And so since I've been working 100% online, I've been traveling basically. So in 2014, I left my last real teaching job. I mean, real, when I say real, you know what I mean. It's like with a paycheck, a real paycheck. So since then, I've been traveling a lot, but I also moved back to the US at one point. Now I'm living in Brazil. So it's given me a lot of freedom to be where I want to be, when I want to be there. And one thing that I always loved about working on my own as kind of a freelance English teacher was that I could decide when I wanted to teach. So when you contrast that with certain companies that people work for, with students in China or anywhere in Asia, really, you're waking up at 4 or 5 in the morning to teach, and that might work for a little while, but I don't know. I mean, that's rough after some time. Some people make it work, but I enjoy the flexibility to be where I want to be, when I want to be there. And the other thing is, I really do enjoy my work, so I'm not trying to stop working. I'm not trying to, not work, but I'm trying to work in the way that allows me to have a more balanced life. So like I can go to the gym in the morning or go on a walk in the afternoon or whatnot and kind of decide that time. I can actually stop and have lunch, like things, the simple pleasures in life, I guess. That's what makes me really happy. Yeah.
That's great. And so what is the future for Go Natural English? Where do you see yourself?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying building the team. I just love having the support and also giving people the opportunities to do what they love to do. I see Go Natural English continuing to grow, to have more students, to have a small team, but to serve the right students that want to be learning in online and want to be learning for their career and their own life goals. So I see it growing, not necessarily to be like the next italki or something huge, but to grow a bit more for sure. And honestly, to allow me to do more on the business and marketing side, including helping other online teachers, which is, full circle bringing me back to why I'm here, because I love to talk about business and how to grow your business and how to reach your goals. And so that's something that I'm really excited about to do more and more of these days. So it's really, allowing me to do more of like, to follow why I feel I'm here, like life purpose type stuff. It's not just that, I'm not, I guess sometimes people have this assumption that like, if you teach something, it's because you weren't successful doing it. And
right.
I want to really just show, that no, I have been successful with Go Natural English, and that's why I'm teaching it, because I love to teach. Okay. So yeah.
So do you have anything specific going on for teachers?
Yes, thank you for asking. So tomorrow on Thursday, I have a webinar at gabbywallace.com/booked. I actually, oh, you put the link in here. Thank you so much. And
Oh, and it'll be in the description too. Yeah.
awesome. So that is a webinar where I'm going to talk more about how to attract your ideal students and how to build your online tutoring business. And yeah, it's also a great way to just keep in touch with me. That's a way to get on my email list. So I would say that's the next step. I wanted to share, or I will share, what I've learned over the years about how to avoid those people who are nice people, but just looking for a free trial. And that's not what you're looking to build your business on. I mean, a free trial could be part of your business, but you don't want that to be what you're spending most of your time on. So how to avoid those people, not waste your time, and actually how to attract your ideal student. And when I say attract, it's like magnetize, like not having to go hunt after them. And I've shared with people in the beginning, I posted ads on Craigslist. I posted flyers in cafes. I did all these things to try to run after or try to like hunt students, and none of that works. So really the key is how to attract students. And it's probably obvious part of the way I did that was through YouTube. But tomorrow in the webinar, I'm going to be sharing more about how to really position yourself, like how to find your unique strengths, know who you are, how to attract people that would be attracted to that. I mean, in a way, it almost sounds like dating. There's probably some similar principles, but
absolutely.
Right. I mean, you don't want to attract a bad match in either scenario with a student either. And so how to really work with the students who appreciate you and who are willing to pay top dollar for your services. So if you decide that you do want to charge $80 per hour for your tutoring, how do you find a student that's willing to pay? Because there are people out there who are willing to pay that. But I think everyone's question is, well, where are they and how do I find them? It feels like a needle in a haystack. But what if you could actually magnetize that needle and make it find you, or help that student to find what they're looking for? Because there are students out there that are similarly like, how do I find a good English teacher? I don't know. And, you know, part of it is figuring out who you are and how to put that message out there. Okay. So that's what I'm going to talk about more tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. So that's going to be the webinar tomorrow.
Yeah.
And to get there, okay, we're going to go to www.gabbywallace.com/booked.
Like to book students. You want to be booked. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Well, Gabby, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for answering our questions. This has been so helpful. I'm sure our teachers are going to love this. And any final comments before we wrap up?
Just, it's been a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you so much for the interview and the chance to do it here in your group. And, you know, if anyone has comments, questions, I will be taking a look at the post with the comments and stuff. So I'm in the group. I'll, you know, be responding if there's anything there, but just thank you again for the opportunity. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. All right, Gabby, it's been great having you, and I look forward to our next chat.
Sounds good, Chris. Bye.
Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.